Hey, Scott Sambucci here. Today's topic, new habits die hard. It's an old saying that old habits die hard. I think new habits die hard. It's January 3rd, and most of us, we start the new year with lots of vim and vigor about how we want to make things different from last year and how we're going to change things we used to do and not do things and start doing other things. And I think it's the newer habits that die the hardest because we start those new habits with the best of intentions, and we let our mindset, or we let our frameworks of how our typical days or weeks or months go start to sort of take over, right? And so I wanted to share three really specific ways that as a leader at your company and as a leader of yourself, that have worked really well for me to help new habits grow, as opposed to having those new habits die hard. So the first thing is communication. And what I mean by that is, for yourself and for your team around you, communicate what those new changes are, what those new habits are, and why those new habits need to be the way they are. I think for a lot of us, if you're running a team, running a company, you feel like, everything's on me and I'm the one that has to make the change. I'm the one that has to push. And a lot of times that's true, but we need to make sure that when we're making changes, when we're making adjustments, when we're creating new habits, that we're letting the team know why we're doing it and what we're doing. Because that leads us to the second piece to this. So number one is communication. The second one is accountability. So once you have communicated with your team why you're making these changes and what those changes are, now you can ask your team to help you stay accountable by reversing the communication back to you. So you're communicating to them, okay, these are the new changes we need to make. These are the new habits we want to create. Now I want you to help me be accountable to this. And the way I want you to help me be accountable is by communicating to me, how am I doing with these changes? How are we doing on these changes? So number one is communication. Number two is accountability. And number three is, the way I think about this is go easy on yourself. And what I mean by that is be forgiving, because those new habits are hard to create and they do die hard. And so as an example, sometimes we might think about a new habit as, for example, I'm going to write a daily journal. I'm going to journal every day. Every morning I'm going to wake up and journal for 30 minutes. Or at the end of every week, I'm going to sit down and do a recap of my week and send that email out to my team. Or, going forward in 2019, I'm going to make sure that I do this or that thing every day for an hour. I'm going to go to the gym every day for an hour. What we're doing a lot of times with those new habits, the reason they die hard is because we set the rules up so that they're actually too difficult for us to maintain and to adhere to. And so by being a little bit easy on yourself, it doesn't have to be an hour a day. What if it was 15 minutes every 3 days to get you started? And then you're just simply logging that time to create and slowly build the muscle, whether it's a mental muscle or a physical muscle, so that you can start doing an hour over time. Because maybe you don't need an hour to do stuff. Maybe you don't need an hour in the gym every day. Maybe 20 minutes is all you need to get things rolling and to get your body feeling good, right? Because those small adjustments, then you'll start eating a little better because you went to the gym. Once you start eating a little better, you start losing weight a little faster. And the same works in your company, right? Maybe you don't have to spend an hour every day, doing team meetings. Maybe it's like, hey, we're going to introduce a 15-minute stand-up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just to make sure we have better communication as a team. So go easy on yourself. So number one, communication. Number two is accountability. Number three is going easy on yourself and setting up the rules to the game so that you can win, because these are your rules. You're the ones that are making the changes. You're the ones that's instilling these new habits. So new habits die hard, and those are three ways that I think if you apply communication, accountability, and going easy on yourself, then I think you'll find that the new habits will take as opposed to dying hard, okay? Have an awesome new year. And listen, one last thing. If you can think of one person out there that should look at this video, should watch this video, somebody you know is maybe already being a little hard on themselves going into the new year, they've got some changes they're trying to make. They're working really hard to make some changes in themselves and their companies, but they could use a little push. They could use a little framework. I would really, really appreciate if you could just share this video with one person, because I want to get this word out to as many people as possible. And if we just have to do that one at a time, that's fine by me. Okay? So that's it for now. Scott Sambucci signing off.